Ladies and gentlemen, it is here. Welker Farms by Map is Paradise has arrived, eagerly anticipated, long waited, but it is here for FS19 and we're going to take a first look through it. This is the first time I've actually entered the map. I'm intrigued and I just very excited by it actually. I've watched a lot of the Welker Farms content on YouTube, fascinated by the map itself. That sounds like a plane. There it is. And yeah, really want to kind of see what we can find here. So, without further ado, let's have a quick wander around. As you can see when we open up the map, it is colossal. The fields are monstrous. I do believe in real life they farm somewhere in the region of 10,000 acres, so you can imagine that's a lot to try and fit in here. And we're going to try and have a quick look around as much as we can and see what we can find. So as we have a wander around, this is the main farm, this is the main layout here. We have some sheds, we've got some beastly equipment over there. No big buds in here. We do have the big brute. And we have a floating car. Okay, that's it's floating by quite a bit. Okay, we'll pretend we didn't see that one. And there's another floating car. We have two floating cars. Okay, it's not the end of the world. We can gloss over that. Are they open? No. Okay. Let's have a look over at the main shed then. We've got a fuel storage there by the looks of things and some more there. Perhaps one of those is for spray. Coming in towards our workshop. There we go, get that door open. So this is available on all platforms. Are you leg arms? Leg arms? Perhaps? I guess so. Alright. That looks like Dexter. You remember Dexter? So this is our workshop. As you can see, there's all equipped big enough so we can get all of our machinery in there, no doubt. Now one thing I'm curious of is the buildings themselves. I found in FS17 the texture of the buildings was not the greatest. I think this one looks a little bit better from the outset, so that's good news. Let's have a look over here. We've got obviously we've got in-game equipment to start with, so we don't have any of the big buds here, though you can download them of course and bring those in. That's a K620, that's fairly colossal though. Do like that a lot. What's in here? What's in the shed here? Nothing, but that's a nice size shed there anyway that we can use. Does that door open as well? It does, good. As you can see, what I do love is the Montana sky is just huge, and you really get that feeling here. That's one thing that is portrayed very well indeed. Skid steer, there's the first one there. We've got our Wilson trailers, we've got one of our trucks, a huge mound of grain bins, of which they do have hundreds of them, so we will be needing all of those given the amount of crop we have. So that's pretty cool, nice horseshoe of grain bins. We can go up onto the roof here. What's up on the roof? Nice little field barnyard actually, that's pretty cool. But anyway, off we go. So the rest of our equipment is a little bit barren. Let's have a look at what we start with, shall we? So we'll go to here. Garage. So we have a 7250 Pro, we have a Puma, we have a Case Quad Track as well, and then a couple of Massey combines. I'm surprised it didn't start us with the big Case combines. And then the equipment that goes with it there as well. We are, obviously, I think everyone would be swapping all of this out for the Big Bud pack where applicable. I think that's the obvious and natural decision to make there. And all of the equipment is all of the placeable buildings can be removed as well, which is pretty cool, but I don't know why you would, because that'd take away from the Welker feeling, really. As we look at the map, you start with, don't actually own any fields, do we? So let's just see if we go to land. All we own is the buildings and the farmsteading, really, and the house. So that means that we need to buy a lot of land. How much is this land going to cost us? That's 900,000, 2.1 million. Wow, you're going to be working hard to build up all of this. Are you ever? That's a lot of money there. So even if you want to go count 1 through 5, you need 2.1 million. That's 3 million. That's 4.1. That's 5. 5.15, and that's 6.2 million you're going to need just to buy fields 1 through 5, so that is a lot of money, and we start with 100,000, so obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon. However, do we have our contracts? We do have some contracts, so we can get some work going, but you're going to need an awful lot more than that. You're gonna have to get a sizable loan going, or get some of. I know on consoles, for example, you can get some money cheats into the game as well. It's certainly gonna have to be something you have a look into. As we look at the fields, what we've got growing here at the moment, got a good mixture. A lot of things you can get straight in with, a lot of wheat, a lot of barley. That's quite good. I'd like to have seen a few more fields of beans, as they do grow peas and beans over there. That'd be pretty cool. But what I think we're going to do is, so we are here, we're going to find a, do we have a truck that we can get into? No, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to buy a truck. I'm going to buy this. We're going to buy a fifth wheel dually. Let's see what we can do there. Perfect. And so, what we're going to do by the magic of farmstead, we're going to end up over at the store. Not before we checked out. There's our little old truck there. Is that one floating? No, I think that one's okay. I mean, the one thing you have to remember about this map as well is that yes, it is open. It's quite barren, you could say, but there's a reason for that in the sense that that's Montana. If you watch your Welker Farms videos, that's pretty much what is happening. So it's quite easy to see why that is the case. I think that the proof will be in the small details to see if they have been included, and we'll have a look at that. But here we are at our store, clearly. We're just going to have a quick drive over here, see what's in, what models we got lying around here as well. I mean, that is an old... That's an old Fent there. Really old looking models around the store for sure. But nonetheless, let's go keep our map up here. This is going to open automatically for me. There we go. Got a huge grain store there, so at least we can get some grain sold off. Where do we actually start from? Not down there, I would say. That takes us to the edge of the map, so it must be on this corner up there. But what we're going to do... Let's have a look over here, because I'm a bit concerned about what I'm looking at over there. I find that some of these models around here in the buildings are a little bit old, a little bit dated. Huge grain store though, I do really like that. Let's just spin it around here. This is what concerns me. That is just... The edge of the map is very uninspiring. I don't know, I wish that could have been blended in somewhere. We got a higher resolution video there, or image. That would have been great, because that to me just is not very nice. If you're working in this field on the border, or any field on the border, if that is the case all the way around, it's not very good. It doesn't give you a lot to look at. And I'm sure, I know many mappers are able to add in something a little bit more detail there, get a better contrast image to make it look that little bit more presentable, really. But what I do like is the fact that, you know, these roads are very true to life. You really do get a big sky feeling, open fields for miles and miles. That's very true to life. I can get behind that one. And now we're going to take this next left, but what's that there? Oh, it's like a little pumping station, I guess. Oh, we're going to swing in here. Be pretty cool to work all this over with a big bud, though. True to life in Welker style. And then we're going to head over to the northwest there. We're going to go via the fertilizer silo, see what's up there. See if there's anything interesting we're going to have a play with up in that way. I see there's a vehicle parked on the roadside here. Not a lot of detail on in terms of the tracks there. There's no... that park there. I find that it could maybe put a little bit more... I don't know. feel like it's missing something. I like the telephone line. I think that's fantastic to see that in. Just gives that little feel of it's something being used, you know. We've got a little bit of water line around here, which is nice to see. Again, we just want small little bits of detail there. In a map like this, when the landscape dictates that it's going to be a certain way, it's going to be flat, you need to see something else coming through. You need to see something that really sticks, that really grabs your attention, really. I'm just not seeing that yet. I like the fact that we have like a satellite yard here. All the equipment's parked outside, which will make a lot of sense when we've got some sheds back at the yard that are empty. And this is clearly our lime store. We got our sprayers, we've got our spreaders, grain augers. There's the case. There's the rest of them. I do like this. I do like these grain augers being around here. I'll give them that. This setup looks pretty neat as well. So that's where we drive over. It fills them all up there. Very nice indeed. Let's spin around. Now this is something I really like. This is kind of like the Welker scrap heap, really. And if you were watching the YouTube channel recently, they did a tour really of the yard and included a bit of the iron heap, of which there were 2 combines. They weren't lizards, they were all John Deeres, I do believe. But that's alright, I like that. It's a nice little touch. Yeah, plenty of scrap in here, plenty of old trucks, and then the brand new ones as well. I think you'd have to swap these out immediately for the big cases, just so we can play true to life, get the air seeders in, of course. But there's plenty of storage space, that's what I really like. I think that's what we desperately needed. And of course you have to swap out for the big brute and for the big buds. Let's get back into here. So nice. There's what feels like a bit of a wind, a bit of a breeze coming through here, but it's just good to see. And I can't put my finger on what it's missing. It's just missing something. My one comparison is Lone Oak in FS17, and whilst that was kind of trying to replicate a real-life farm in Oregon, I believe it was, it had large open expanses, but it felt just a little bit more real. And I think that's what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. What's really disappointing for me, though, is this border at the end. I can't get over that. You see, when you see little things like this pile of rocks, yeah, well, that's great, but why can't we see more of that? You know, we need to see more of that, and it's just the border. The last thing you want to see as your, let's say, if you are driving along the field here, the last thing you really want to see, or you can't because you get squashed up to the edge there, but the last thing you want to see is that edge. It just looks mean, and not in a good way mean. I'm gonna have a look at the wood chips and the root crops at least. Now I know a lot of people are going to love this map that has probably already been downloaded a billion times, and I can get that and get behind it. I think that's a good thing. You know, it's a very eagerly anticipated map, and rightly so. The Welker Farm boys have got a very interesting YouTube channel, but I just don't see it. I like this map. I'd like to play it, have a little go, bring out the big equipment, but this section right here, this is my favourite section, without question. The rest of it, I can take or leave. I think the main yard has some nice touches, has some great buildings in there, which do look a little step up from 17. But the issues with those things like floating cars, that's a pretty easy thing to fix, but it's also a very easy thing to have noticed straight away. Now we've got power out here. Let's go look in here as well. A lot of this map is just going to take some time to comb through and try and find yourself, just given to the sheer size of it. You know, you're going to have to be doing a lot of driving around, but I think it has some potential. It needs to be touched up. I just don't quite think it's there yet. See that again? That's a nice little feature, something you can look at. Doesn't add much, but it adds something. This little barn here is a really nice little touch. So we've got a little storage barn there. That's where our root crops must be. Let's have a drive through here. Interesting sound. What was that? I'm gonna go over. Now, one thing I noticed that could have been added in that we don't have, which may have kind of helped with a little bit of detail. Oh, as he crashes, would be like ditches on the side of the roads. For example, we know that Nick recently got stuck in the big brute in a ditch. So why didn't we have some ditches on the edges of our fields? Again, something small, but makes it just a little bit more true to life. That would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, it is, the fields themselves, I mean, I can't complain about the shape of the fields, that's exactly what it is. So I think that, you know, you're kind of hamstrung there a little bit as to what you can do. We're going to bomb straight along here. And we're going to end up going down that middle artery. We're going to have a little look into this national park thing, where I think we may call it there. Oh, rocks. So we do have a few little rock piles here and there. But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite yards there, actually. Certainly be doing a lot of driving in and out there with all of the crops you're going to be harvesting from these fields. But I don't know why we didn't start with a field. It's a lot of land there not to have a single field and have so little money. That's tricky for me to understand, that one. You're going to have to be doing contract work forever. The only way you could possibly do it is by cheating money in, I would say. Selling the equipment you have, but then you still need to buy. You need huge equipment to farm this, without a question. Maybe all that land on the east of the East Road, so 19 through 23, you'd have to purchase first, and then try and see if you can make it work from there. But see, again, you look over here, you have two fields, and then you look into the distance, and you've got a very poor resolution border. Just don't think that works very well. Speaking of which, we're going to go along the south side, see what they've got going on here. And there's what seems to be a kind of like grass and moorland. We haven't even filled in all of the grass. Looks to me like we've been missing some grass there. And that was textured in, it looks like, at least. I may be wrong. What is this here? Ooh, nice little bridge. Okay, that's all right. Oh, into a sawmill, it looks like. This isn't on the map, but again, nice little touch. Not too bad. Some sheds there we can use. Little bit of detail here. There are pockets of okay spaces. There are pockets where it's looking pretty good, and then I think the rest of it's just let down a little bit, in all honesty, which is a shame because I really had high hopes for this. We'll go through here as well. That looks like a placeable area, perhaps. That's good, at least. If you want, I don't know why you would need an extra placeable area, but there you go. Nice to have some people walking around here. A nice little industrial area, at least. And back to the grain store there. Okay then, so I think we've pretty much kind of covered everything. What we're going to do is head back over towards the main farm, which is just over here. Busy road, a lot of traffic on here. Let's go that way, undercut. So, to be honest, I thought I was really going to enjoy this map, and I just can't help but feel it's missing a few things, and I feel like there's some key critical areas that have let this down, if I'm being brutally honest, and I just can't get over it. The main yard here looks okay. It's very true to, at least to what we see on the YouTube channel. There are the secondary yard, the stores at least look pretty good, a lot of equipment there, I like that as well. I think there's a few major issues. The floating cars here just drive me crazy, because that's something you can easily see and should easily be able to correct. This one is... Oh, I see what there, this building, okay. So, ooh, there's a whole load of different garages here. Is it open? No. I'm not trapped inside. The light on. Why did the light sound like a door? There we go. So yeah, I like these main buildings. I think you can get by with those, do a lot with them. The main family stead in there is exactly how you'd kind of expect it to be as well, so I can get behind that. And then we have Welker Farms in their entirety, which is fantastic. Hello to you all. I would just like to see a few better touches here and there. I like these. This is all very cool, very representative of what they have in real life. I like the workshop. I think these buildings are a little bit better. I can get behind those as well. It's just a few small things that are really killing it for me. And I'm sure they can be, I know some of them can be very easily addressed. The cars, for example, that's an oversight, but it's, you know, that can be adjusted pretty quickly. I find that, yeah, we just need to see, so I would love to see something with those borders. I just don't know if that's going to happen. The map itself, yes, it's sparse, because in some places it will be like that, it's true to form. But yeah, I have to, time will tell. I am going to give it a play. I'm going to try and give it a live stream on several occasions, see how it looks. Keep an eye out for that. Do let me know down below what you think. I'd love to hear your views on this, because some people absolutely adore this map, some people will absolutely despise it. It's going to be quite love-hate. I think I'm disappointed. I think that best summarizes my feelings towards it. Just disappointed, and I hope that can change, and we will see. Until next time, though, I have been Simulation for the Nation. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your comments down below as to what you think of the map as well. If you've liked it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't hit that thumbs down button, don't forget to let us know why you disagree with my opinions. I'm always very interested to know, and we will see you in the next one. And we'll, like I say, we'll be trying to live stream this as much as possible. Until then, though, have yourself a great evening, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll see you all in the next one.